experts and other people, and you're asking about what's going on in California. Well, this is the warning that I've been talking to you guys about. See, look at the age here. This is just the last day. When you see a stack of flags, this is a quake swarm. All right, this is a quake swarm. Let's look at the quake swarm for the last week. Look at the activity that you have right here in your neighborhood. Now, what we've seen, look how tall it is. When you see a stack of flags that freaking tall, then you can be looking at precursor quakes leading to something that's big. Look at the big quake that happened right over here. You get this big 7.2 taking place right here, and in the same place where you're seeing this swarm activity, and look at all the people that live here. You see what I mean? So there's, you know, and I got a message from a subscriber that's out here in this area, California area. People are kind of waking up in this area. That's great, and I can kind of see why. Look at all the earth changes that are taking place here. You're getting beaten down right here, and then you have the opportunity to wake the hell up about what's happening. But rather than send me questions about the best evacuation route, that's the wrong question. What I'm trying to do here at TerraLo3.com is to help you to wake up, to realize the pattern of what's happening here. And what you're seeing here, see this quiet spot in between? See how these lines are converging over top of each other now, because the vents are getting a little larger and a little larger. You went from 2s to 3s to 4s. Now you're having 4.7s in here. Well, this causes the quiet area to begin to become active. And then you get the sliding and slipping that you need. Well, this activity down here, this large activity, this is in adjacent to where this Solomon Island event took place, February the 6th, 2013. Extremely important that you realize this. Extra space is created, so now the tectonic plates are wanting to move into that direction to fill in the void. The pressure is being relieved here. Less pressure means that the tectonic plates have the opportunity to slide, and then the caterpillar crawl starts. These type of flags, this came from Kamchatka. You don't see a giant swarm by Kamchatka anymore, do you? And then Alaska, off the coast of Alaska, you notice how this quake swarm area is diminishing, but this quake swarm area is getting taller. That tells me, and it should tell you too, that movement is getting ready to take place right here in a big way. That's what Dutch is seeing, suspicious observers. That's what a lot of other people are seeing that are on the internet. So it's not like you're not getting a warning. You're getting warning shots across your bow right now. Mother Nature's giving you warning shots. I'm making warning videos about the pressure building up under Yellowstone and these quake swarm areas, and I'm making you aware of what's causing the change in the dynamic, which the other people don't understand. I don't think. I don't see any sign from suspicious observers or from BP Earthwatch or anybody else, from Dutch Sense or anybody else. Dutch Sense probably has the best vantage point and view, looking at the Earth, the subterranean level. Looking at the American Craton right here, seeing how these plates are pushed up against it, right? But where my investigation separates from theirs is looking at the total dynamic of what's going on here. The shift in the magma flows. We had giant magma pressures on this side that are now switched over to the Yellowstone side. Yellowstone is bulging now faster than it has been. We are at the end of the Earth change uptick period as we're coming up on the backside alignment. Those of you that are tired of me talking about the backside alignment, well, just too darn bad. Don't watch my updates, because this is the most important event that's coming up. This is the center of the back orbit position. This is real critical for the investigation, for you to understand what's happening here. All right, so we're expecting these M-class flares to transition over to X's. Then we're going to see the Pacific Ocean Ring of Fire event. Is it going to be over here? Is it going to be down here? Or is it going to be right here in California? And by look at the swarm areas around the rest of the Pacific Ocean Ring of Fire to realize there's nothing more active than this stack of flags right here. So this is why. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen here, but it means that the probability curve is working against you if you live on the coast of California. If you want to just sit there like a frog sitting in the boiling water, in the warming water, it's warm. This is warm water. If you're going to sit there until it starts boiling, then that's up to you guys. But I'm not here to show you the best evacuation route. What I'm here to do is to help you to realize that this is a danger area. There is no safe zone west of the Rocky Mountain Ridge. There's none. You got too many calderas over here. You got pyroclastic flows. One breath kills you. Too much seismicity. Look at the Edgar Cayce maps of the future, and you can see why. I'm not sending anybody to California. Nobody. Nobody's being sent to the eastern side of the Mississippi River Basin either. 200 nuclear power plants over here. What are you going to do when they start melting down? You want to be south and you want to be west of that position, right? So the central part of the United States is where the stable tectonic plate is. Yes, there's a couple of nuclear power plants, but they're on stable plates. And those two nuclear power plants service the billion-dollar underground bunker positions. So these rich people, you think they're just going to watch the nuclear power plants melt down? No, they're going to make provisions. They're going to shut them down manually and restart them after the collapse. All right, does that make sense? That's why I want to be there in the western side of Arkansas, because that's where the billionaires have built their underground bunkers, in the caverns that are there. You need the cavern positions. This is where you should be thinking about moving, relocating. I lived there for 2 years. Now I've got friends there. Right now I'm talking to you from Florida. I don't have to live there, but I have to have a safe zone location there. You're learning to live off the grid. You are putting together your survival seeds, your guns, your ammo. You're making yourself a viable part of a very strong survival group that is working with other survival groups. That's how you're going to survive. Knowing the fastest way out of California is not going to be the answer. The answer is getting out of California. So you look at the disparity in the home prices of California versus Arkansas. Arkansas is the low end of the scale. California is the high end of the scale. So those of you that are smart, that you own houses over in California, you're getting rid of them. You're saying, well, I'm not going to make so much money. Well, your money goes a lot further in Arkansas. Then I recommend that you rent a house in Arkansas and then look around. You can make friends with the locals and then get yourself a very, very sweet deal, rather than trying to buy property remote from California where you're going to get the highest price. You see, getting in with the locals of Arkansas, extremely important. These are very religious people, and in Arkansas, in the Ozarks, then they're like mountain people, right? And they have their local groups, their local community hall, where they go to their dances and things like that. They're mostly Baptists. And going there and living there, shaking hands with them, especially if you can get a job there as a caretaker of a large property like I did for a couple of years, especially with somebody that is of reputation, former judges, congressmen, things like that. Then you can work your way into a good survival position. That's what it's about. Getting away from the coast, the shorelines, and getting into a real safe zone location. So that's what I do at TerraLo3.com, is provide you information, and I just sent good information to the people, to subscribers writing me in California, about who to contact in Arkansas. And I recommend that you talk to Michael Slack. He is at preppersandpatriots.net. Just Google him, Michael Slack, Preppers and Patriots, and you'll be looking at his website. He gives his contact information, his phone number, his email address. Contact him. He puts together survival expos. He lives in the Ozarks. Those are the kind of people you want to meet. But what I'm going to try to help you do is learn to live off the grid. I'm going to give you to people. You go to these expos, you relocate, this is what you do if you really believe my testimony. You look at the evidence of the earth changes, the shrinking heliosphere, the weakening magnetosphere. You're looking at the craziness that's going on in the solar system, on our planet, and you realize, holy crap, the binary twin to our sun is coming. How are you going to neutralize threats when outside air temperature is 200 to 250 degrees for 8, 9, 12 hours at a time? How are you going to do that? You're going to do it with a deep cavern. You're going to do it with a survival group that has a cavern in their part of their survival strategy. And if you don't know somebody like that, then you can help to wake somebody up that's like that, right? So that's the program. That's how it works. And there is definitely something happening here in California. And does it mean it's going to happen now? Doesn't mean it has to happen now. We are coming to the end of the second Earth change uptick period for the 2014 orbit cycle. Then we're going to see a lull period all the way around to January, the third week in January. And then this stuff's going to kick off again. Eventually, I'm seeing there's too much activity. It's been shifting over from Asia to Americas. There's just Google Russian warning, magnetic anomaly. What's happening right here off the coast of California, this is big stuff. This is really big stuff. And the uplifting taking place with Yellowstone, the pressures that are building here, and the pressures that are being released, that's the volcanism pressures that are increasing, and the tectonic pressures that are decreasing because of what happened over here in Solomon Island. You have the cascade, the movement of the tectonic plates just ever so gradually away from the American coast, creating the extra space. Without the Solomon Island tectonic crack that took place in 2013, this scenario would not be possible. That's what's different between this coming of the black star and the last coming of the black star, whenever the tectonic dynamic here was all tight. That's the answer. Okay? So, beware, watch out. There's trouble on the west coast of the United States here. And again, there's no safe zone location in the area where all these calderas are pushed together. We do not have the pressure relief mechanisms that Japan has, for example, or Russia has. They'll have 10 volcanoes going off at the same time. That relieves the pressure. Where's the American volcanoes? They're offshore. And you're seeing these earthquakes because the lava tubes are being accessed. The pressure is building up. But if the pressure relief mechanism doesn't work, remember these moving tectonic plates means that the lava tubes can be cut off, right? So the United States is in the unique situation of having pressure of the volcanism pressures building up at the same time that the tectonic pressures are diminishing, so that the pressures in between the plates are not allowing them to stay in place. So the slippage is coming, and whenever this area right here slips, you're going to have a linchpin event. When that linchpin event takes place, you're going to have a series of high magnitude earthquakes, because all this pressure buildup over hundreds of thousands of years is going to be released in a very short time. That's what Dutch Sense is talking about. So I'm speaking to Bonnie and Christine and the others that live out here in California, and the answer is to get the hell out of Dodge. Right? If it doesn't happen this time, it happens next time or the next time. But this real safe zone location is over here in the central part of the United States. Even though this fracking activity makes it look like it's not safe there, it really is in the central part of the United States, and as far south as possible. That's why I recommend Arkansas and the western side, not the eastern side of Arkansas or Missouri. Even though there's Ozarks over there, they are too low. You need to be above 1,000 feet, right? The safe zone elevation of my particular cavern is 1,200 feet, right? And you want to be above 1,000, but not above 2,000 feet. So that's pretty much my report. And just look at the seismicity, the swarm area right here, and hopefully the Earth starts moving away from the black star here in only about a week or two, and then these swarm areas start coming down and the pressure subsides. Talking about the volcanism pressure, right? And then we were able to make it to the next Earth change uptick period before you guys have to start worrying about that. Myself, I'm looking to May 2015 as the next time that I need to maybe be in the Ozarks. But I'm going to have a mountain of data between now and then, and I will keep you guys updated